It's Thursday the 3rd of September and I wanted to share with you a quick update in regards to some changes to the restarting of face-to-face scouting. Before I do, it's worth reminding you that from a scouting perspective, there is no rush to return to face-to-face scouting. If you or your young people do not feel that the time is right, then do wait a little longer. We've had a large number of sections, groups and units who have started the process and been approved to restart their face-to-face scouting. This is fantastic and I really thank you for all of your hard work in doing this. Some of the changes that take effect from today will also affect you and your meeting, so do please stay and watch the rest of this video, even if you are already approved. So what are the changes? These changes take effect from today, the 3rd of September, so they'll apply to face-to-face scouting in Gloucestershire immediately. We're still at amber, but the National Youth Agency has updated their guidance and the Scouts Association have updated their guidance accordingly. The key changes are as follows. The first one is that groups may now increase from a maximum of 15 to a group that has up to 15 young people and up to 5 adults. This means a total group size of up to 20 with no more than 15 young people in it. Also, adults may now move between groups. So for example, if you needed to support a hub meeting between 6 PM and 7:30 PM and then go and help lead the explorers between 7:30 PM and 9 PM on the same day, you can now do this. Of course, there's less risk to yourself and others if you do not mix groups, but it is possible as an adult to be in multiple groups in one day. Young people should not be mixing groups. Thirdly, you now may plan for indoor activities. These will be subject to some additional measures and will need some further risk assessment, but they are now possible. In regards to the additional measures, these mostly relate to face coverings. Scouts and explorers have to wear face coverings indoors, unless there is a good reason not to, such as medical or additional needs. Beavers and cubs do not have to wear face coverings, but of course they may choose to. Adults should also wear face coverings unless they are directly involved in delivering the programme. For example, if you are a leader explaining an indoor activity to the young people, then you may remove your masks so that you can communicate more effectively. If you're an adult who is a bystander or not involved directly in the delivery of the programme, you should wear your face covering at all times, unless there is good reason not to, such as medical or additional needs. Indoor activities do pose a greater risk in terms of COVID-19 to young people and adults, so careful consideration should be given as to whether it is necessary at this time. Only meet indoors if it's useful. Things that remain the same include the need to socially distance, especially with young people and adults staying at least 2 metres apart. That's really important still. Now, how does this affect the groups that have already been approved to restart? If you've already been approved to meet face-to-face by your DC and you're only changing the numbers of people that are involved, then you do not need to resubmit your risk assessment for approval. If you're having more adults or more young people involved, then you must update your risk assessment and share it with your DC for information only, not for their approval. It's important to remember that all adults working with young people are still required to have completed all of their mandatory required training. So safety, safeguarding, GDPR and Module 1 must be complete, and they must also have a valid DBS. If you're changing meetings from outdoors to indoors, you must update your risk assessment fully, and this must be submitted to approve by your DC and the district exec using the process that you will have already followed. Remember, you must risk assess for every environment that you or your young people will be using, whether that's indoors or outdoors. You must, in your risk assessments, be able to demonstrate how you are managing social distancing, hygiene, and the safety of all involved, including parents or carers who are dropping off and collecting. And as we're now past the 1st of September, we're now required to start risk assessing all parts of our programme, including games, activities, ceremonies and free time. This must be documented, but is not required to be included in the approval by your DC. I know some of you will be a little frustrated that these changes today mean that updating your documents, but in some cases it will just be a change and not a new risk assessment. If you are meeting indoors, you will need to add this and get it approved again. If you're only increasing numbers, you only need to update it, share it, and keep a local copy. It doesn't require approval if you're only changing numbers. Please don't forget, it's important to make sure that all of those who are involved are made aware of the risks that are involved, what is being done to mitigate them, and what responsibilities people have for doing so. Everybody should know what's going on. Adults are still governed by the UK government guidelines, which today means we cannot meet in groups larger than 6 outdoors, or no more than 2 households indoors. You don't need to seek approval for these meetings of adults. I hope this has been useful to you. Please do share it, and please do reach out to your DC if you're unsure of anything. Thank you so much for everything that you are doing. We really do appreciate it, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye bye.